Instead of like learning English, it was like, how is Lai Shishong's English?
Judged by a native American
California bro.
And how was his English? Special welcome to one of the most trending, viral, uprising YouTube stars here in Taiwan, Teddy Lai.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Teddy Lai. I'm from the States. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Been here for about 12 years. After college, I was kind of looking for stuff to do. I was looking like teaching English abroad. Came out here with a couple of friends from middle school. I ended up staying. They've since gone back.
How come like Taiwan specifically?
Actually, one of my best friends growing up was half Taiwanese. Every so often, I actually like would go with them to the Taiwanese part of LA and was introduced to like beef noodles, stuff like that, but didn't really know what Taiwan was back then. But I think like the seed was somehow planted. Some of the food, like I remember the mom cooking beef noodles for us and then coming out here and seeing beef noodles. I'm actually vegetarian at this point, but the signs, of course, you know, they're in like traditional Chinese characters. But I feel like only in the last maybe 5 years, Taiwanese-ness and like Taiwanese culture has kind of like grown in the imagination of American people because of like the pandemic, the political situation now, and of course semiconductors. So more people know about Taiwan now. Back then it was like not as well known.
You said you wanted to come to teach English. Is that what you have been doing for?
I taught English for a long time, maybe about 9 years. Actually, when I was teaching English, I actually had my own yoga studio for a while.
Oh wow, you're a yoga instructor as well. Like when I hear Los Angeles, I think like skateboard.
Yeah, dude.
Surfers.
Sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Exactly.
Of course.
I think about a skateboard dudes.
Yeah.
Unless you live in like Taidong or like maybe like you go to like Ilan to get like the surfing dudes of Taiwan.
Yeah, I lived there for a year.
Okay, you did. Okay. Yeah, because I was just gonna say like it sounds like two completely like different lives. What was like the biggest difference for you?
Probably not having to drive, which is amazing because in LA you have to drive everywhere because it's so spread out and the traffic is really horrible. So coming here was nice. I bought a bike, best purchase ever. It's cruising around, everything's super dense.
The first foreigner ever who has said like Taiwan's traffic is not as horrible as the one.
Oh yeah, dude. Taiwan is great. No, it's actually like very friendly for cyclists because there's the concept of having like a two-wheeled space because it's scooters.
Right.
So like I used to ride a bike in LA occasionally and just like get yelled at because you're just taking up too much space. Because so many cars, running by and be like, you know, get off the road, like just being very aggro. People are very aggressive drivers in America. And like sometimes when I go back now, I'm like, don't want to mess up. Does that person have a gun? Like all these thoughts come up because you never know.
So how about here in Taiwan? Did you ride a bike, scooter?
I have a scooter now.
Scooter?
Yeah, I have a scooter now.
Okay.
So after 8 years, I was like, it's time to get a scooter. Changed my life. It's great.
Yeah,
I'm still alive, so
yes, that's the definition of great.
Yeah, I'm still alive. I haven't had an accident yet, so
I think that's like the single biggest change in my Taiwanese life. Like the day I bought a scooter, that's like my life completely changed.
Game changer. Yeah.
And speaking about life-changing events, today's sponsor NordVPN is now available on Apple TV as well. That means that it is now easier than ever to enjoy all the benefits of NordVPN directly on your living room TV without having to go through your computer or your router. And since you can connect up to 10 devices at the same time with NordVPN, that means that at least theoretically, I can sit here and watch a movie from Sweden on my phone, while at the same time sit here on the sofa and watch some US exclusive TV shows such as SWAT, while at the same time at least try to understand this French exclusive movie all at the same time here in the middle of my Taiwanese living room. But believe it or not, my favorite thing about NordVPN is actually not how easy it is to switch between all these different devices. It is the fact that you can literally just activate NordVPN with one click of a button, and then NordVPN will be running in the background, which means that you literally won't even notice when the VPN is activated or not. But I do have to warn you though, because once you have opened that virtual door to these other locations, there is no reason to ever close that door again, and it's very, very hard to go back to enjoy all this entertainment the normal way ever again. But that is also why NordVPN also has a great offer with a massive discount and 4 extra months if you do sign up for the 2-year plan. And just like using NordVPN itself, all you need to do is just one click on the link down in the description or head over to nordvpn.com/Lukas. And NordVPN do have a 30-day money-back guarantee, which means that you can try it out for yourself on your own phone, on your own iPad, on your own, yeah, you get it, for 30 days. And of course get all your money back if you're not 100% satisfied. And I should also mention that using a VPN is also a lot more secure, especially if you are often connecting to public Wi-Fis or, for example, when you're traveling, which I'll be doing next month actually. But thanks to NordVPN, it doesn't matter if I will be traveling to Germany or Sweden, I can still get the same Taiwan sofa experience regardless where in the world I am. But with that said, I now actually want to go back to my own studio and continue with the rest of this video.
What was the original plan when you first came to Taiwan?
Like many other foreigners, stay here for a year. At the time, I was kind of like, I just graduated school. It was right after the recession. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. So I kept having all of these plans. Like, I want to write a movie, or like, I want to open a dumpling restaurant with my friend. That was like one of the things. Or okay. Like, I want to go back to school, and like, not really finishing anything. So I'm like, I'm going to go to Taiwan. I'm going to live there for a year no matter what happens. And I had no idea really what this country was like. Maybe I can say this, maybe not, but it was kind of like China, but not really. I didn't know how different it was. So I was just very ignorant of like what the place was like. So it was just a challenge to come here, stay for a year, and just like stick it out. I just needed that kind of something that could kind of build up my confidence a bit.
And what made you then stick with it for like 12 years now?
The yoga studio for a while. That was like a big deal. Feeling like kind of growing something and having this community of people that would come over, and yeah, it was just a very special time for me. Then my boss is like, oh, someone just quit. You could get a full schedule right now. I did the numbers. I'm like, it's a lot of money. It's some cash. So
I thought yoga was all about like, you know, the spiritual thing, and that you don't need that much money if you have a well-balanced life.
Yeah, apparently everyone has a price. Just have to have enough money. Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing with like teaching English here. It can be quite lucrative and also quite rewarding.
Now, after living in Taiwan for 12 years, what is something that you wish you would have known about Taiwan before moving here?
Definitely the history of Taiwan. I'm big into history. That's what I studied in college. Just kind of knowing what has led up to the current moment that we're into, just kind of giving more context of what is important for Taiwanese people, just to try to understand people's mindsets here more. I feel like I just came in here and didn't know anything. At all.
Same as I felt when I first saw you, because I had no idea who you are, and I wish I would have known a little bit more about the history
homework,
about you.
Dude. There's nothing out there though.
But I feel like, yeah, exactly. There's nothing out there, because now I feel like you're trying to like catch up on the history, getting to know the Taiwanese people a little bit more. Because for those of you who have not seen his YouTube channel, now you are a YouTuber, specifically street interviews, finding, I would say, random people on the street to the most famous English teacher in Taiwan. How does that work? Like, how do you find these people? And more specifically, how are you friends with the famous teachers?
That dude. All the street interviews, I have no idea who those people are. I'll just see them. For some reason, I'll want to approach them. I was doing an interview series about people and their dogs. So I was like, oh, what's it like to raise a dog in Taiwan because of the whole like declining birth rate thing. So like I see them, I run across the street, but then I hear behind me like this very like resonant, beautiful voice saying like, oh, you have very good Chinese. And I turn around and there's this very stately looking elderly gentleman. I asked if I could interview him, and I just was kind of struck by his English level because it was very clear. He had very good pronunciation. People, I think, were much more curious about it. So it was, instead of like learning English, it was like, how is Lai Shishong's English? So,
judged by a native American
California bro.
And how was his English?
His English is fantastic. Yeah, of course. He had like a southern accent because it came out that he learned English from like soldiers soldiers and stuff like that. So probably those soldiers maybe came from that region of the States that he was kind of interacting with. He was teaching like classes of 500 students over at near Taipei main station for years. 500 students 3 times a day, every day, for 6 days a week. And so a lot of people knew who he was, and he's very charismatic, just has like a presence about him. Actually, he became a teacher because his wife got sick. So he needed to earn as much money as he could. And like, if he grew up in different circumstances, would he have just like gone into like the performing arts? And he's like, oh yeah, like maybe I would have. So he's kind of has that like showmanship about him. So it kind of makes sense that he became famous.
I would never be able to just like go up, like even without a camera, to go up and like ask strangers questions. Like it's just like not in my blood. But I feel like as an American, you guys are just like annoyingly friendly and just like go up and talk.
Yeah.
Like I went to the States and then I had like waiting for a coffee, like let's say in a Starbucks. And then just like the person in front of me just started asking and talking about like the weather or like, what are you gonna order, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you talking to me? You know, like you will not know me 10 seconds from now. You will never see me again in your life. Why do you bother?
Yeah.
It sounds like a very American thing.
Yeah, I thought that the same thing. Like I recently went back to America and I wanted to shoot video there, and I did. I shot street interviews. But getting people to actually go on camera in the States was very challenging because we are very friendly, and like you said, you can just chat about the weather, but anything to do with like cameras or kind of like talking about issues, they're like, what's this, why? Like very skeptical and not very trusting of who this random guy with the camera is on the street. But here, yeah, like I feel like Taiwanese people are just more trusting in general. So I'll approach people, maybe show them my channel. Most people are like, oh, okay, this guy is not going to make me look stupid or take me out of context, which I think most Americans would think.
Has there been any big surprises, or like have you learned something new about like the overall Taiwanese mindset after doing these interviews?
Yeah, I did one interview. It was like kind of historical, political one where, how do I kind of start this? Like, I'm very interested in like China-Taiwan relations because I'm from the States. It's very, very topical about our foreign relations with different countries. It's very important for a certain subset of American people that are interested in kind of politics and things like that. So as I've been learning more about this topic, about Taiwanese identity, how that affects their views on cross-strait relations, and realizing that that topic isn't as monolithic as I originally thought. There's very wide opinions on that. Coming over here as a foreigner, you kind of only hear one thing. Just talking to different people, realizing like, oh, there's so many different backgrounds of Taiwanese people that have very many different opinions on this. I could talk about it more specifically, but I'm kind of being vague because that's the thing. It's like a very politically incorrect thing to talk about here. I think that's actually one of the advantages I have of being a foreigner doing these interviews is that I don't really have an agenda. I'm just like trying to ascertain the truth about what's happening. So I can go and I can ask these types of questions and people will be like, oh, he's just trying to learn, which I am. I just really want to know what people think about this stuff and then present it in a way that is truthful.
Is there still something in Taiwan that you haven't done yet that like on your Taiwan bucket list?
I would like to do more like backpacking here. Done some backpacking. I went to like Jiaminghu. There's just a lot of amazing trails out here. I still haven't done Yishan. I haven't done Xueshan. So I'd like to do that. Some of the outer lying islands, like I really want to go to Jinmen, especially in terms of like the history there.
Just watch my YouTube video. It's okay.
Just save me the trip. How about Matsu? Have you been there?
I've been there.
Did you make a video?
Yeah, of course I made a video.
Damn it.
Matsu was actually like the first trip I made that to a new location. When I started making YouTube videos, I knew about Lannu, but that was the only island I knew about. And Xiaoliushu. I had no idea about like what Jinmen was, what Matsu was. There are multiple islands. So we flew in with a plane to like island number 1, but the hotel we had booked was like on a completely different island.
Oh, it's like a little chain.
So like we still had to like get on a ferry to go like on the other island because we were like, and we didn't discover it until like we landed at the airport And then we had the address, and then we went to the cab driver, and we're like, we want to go and check in at the hotel, and they're like, you see the island over there? Like you're on the wrong island. Yes. Pay attention that you fly to the right island that you're staying on.
Matsu is not one island.
Like it's north and south, so it's like Beigan and Nangan, I think. Both equally beautiful. You should visit both.
Which people are nicer, Beigan or Nangan people?
Oh, honestly, I don't know about the people, but I do remember one fact about the different islands, and that is here in Nangan, the rocks we use are more brownish. The one in Beigan are more whitish, because these rocks are dirtier apparently, and they don't have that many nice rocks as in Beigan. That's it.
But we love you both. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are both cool. Yeah, Matsu Jinmen. Jinmen especially because it's so close to China. And I feel like it's just fascinating that place is still part of Taiwan, but you can see China from there. And Gaoliang, bro.
I don't think you're allowed to visit Jinmen without buying Gaoliang.
But you gotta buy some Gaoliang.
Yeah, you gotta buy some Gaoliang.
You got to.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but you need to befriend someone from Jinmen because they have like a special type of Gaoliang that you can only buy if you live on Jinmen. There's some I forgot
Secret stash.
I forgot exactly what it is. If you live on Jinmen, please do let me know exactly what I'm talking about in the comments.
That good stuff.
But I know that there is something with Gaoliang. You need to have a Jinmen residence. Maybe not even residence. Maybe you need like the household registration.
This is for real.
This is for real.
No jokes.
This is no joke.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, they have like limited edition. I don't know if it's an annual thing, but there's like one type of Gaoliang you can only buy if I'm not sure if it's a residence or if you have like the household registry. Basically, summary, make sure that you become friends with someone, a local living on Jinmen. They will tell you all about it. And maybe if you're lucky, they will get you the special Gaoliang.
If it's better than the one you can get in 7, then yes. That shit is rot gut. Sorry. Whoever can drink Gaoliang, hats off to you guys. You guys are iron stomachs.
As a vegetarian, is it easier to find food in LA or like Taiwan, Taipei?
I would say when I moved here, it was definitely easier here. But now the kind of whole vegetarian thing is becoming way more trendy in the States. So it's about equal. The thing is you can find really good like local spots in Taiwan that are relatively inexpensive. You know, you go in there, you can get your $100 biendang, something like that, which it makes it very convenient to be a vegetarian here. So like, you know, near my house, there's 5 restaurants. I can pick one and never get bored. In the States, you can go to a vegetarian restaurant, but it's going to be a lot of money.
Right.
And then you're going to have to pay tax, you're going to have to pay tip. You can't eat out ever. So it turns out to, you know, you go to eat and it's going to be like 1,500 NT, where here you can get your $90 delicious curry and be happy forever.
Thank you so much for sharing a little bit more about you. This is literally the first time I ever got to see your face. Hopefully, we also get to see his face a little bit more on his own YouTube channel, which of course you have a link down in the description if you want to know a little bit more about Taiwanese mindset, foreigners in Taiwan mindset. And if you haven't already, please also remember to subscribe to this channel. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.
Cheers.